Today I fucked up edible tried to steal my soul. Too long did not read. At the bottom. So to preface, I am a middle-aged moderately high-use user in a legal state. I smoke the equivalent of 2 or 3 joints a night, and every so often me and my wife will take 50 mg of edibles to start it off before we smoke. 50 is the most I've ever taken, and do that once a month or so. Buddy of mine stopped by my work 2 days ago and we talked for a bit. He's leaving and says, "Hey, you want one of these edibles? They're 100s. I thought that may or may not be fun, let me find out. Knowing damn well sometimes 50s suck, and I think that I'm about to be the first marijuana overdose of all time in my head. I think great, let's double that. I pop it 15 minutes before a leave and drive the 5 minutes home. Talk to the wife and the kids for a bit and everything is great. I go outside with my wife, we smoke a bowl and veg on the couch for an hour, everything is perfect. I mean, I'm high as giraffe balls, but that was the point, right? Kids go to bed, we snack a bit, decide to smoke another bowl. Come in, watch TV. I take a shower and it is one of the best experiences I've had high in my life. And looking back, I realize I tried to pass out multiple times while I was in there. That fact will turn out to much more important than I could have realized. I throw some sleep pants on and return to the living room with my wife. We talk, watch TV, and decide to go to the bedroom for a little private time. Now from this point my memory is spotty, but my wife was there to fill in parts my THC-fueled brain could not retain. I remember all my feelings and only small bits other than that, but my wife, she remembers all my actions. You add those together and you get a pretty accurate portrayal of what I went through. This is when the fucking bear reached out and tried to take my soul with his sticky little claws. My reality and everyone else's reality at this point do not exist fully together. I'm told this is the first time I will bounce off the floor. I know as I pull myself up and know instantly that the night is about to go bad, so I focus on my wife, who always means the world to me but right now is my everything. I try to pull my shit together and talk to her. Then I turn around and find the source of all the current problems. I never name this entity that torments me for the next 2 hours and have no memory of a visual. But according to my wife, he was a huge piece of shit and an asshole. Those everyone are my words. I scream, "You're not taking any of us," and the fight is on. I start throwing punches and then crumple to the floor. My wife rushes to me and helps me up. I'm able to focus on her and be fine, but anytime I turn my head I'm convinced someone right there is going to take me or my family, since every time I look away I'm screaming, "You won't take me, my kids, or especially her." The fight rages a few more times with me fighting this thing in my head, but every time my wife touches me I let her control my actions, placing me on the bed or holding my arms behind my back as I cuss and degrade this entity. Whenever I'm looking at her I'm able to regain my sanity for a bit. Every time I can see her I'm telling her how much she means to me. I start to pull it all together. I remember looking at her saying we should have sex. That way I can focus, reboot my brain, and I can stop this bullshit. Pulling from all the past bad experiences from half as much THC, thinking I knew exactly what was going on. My friends, I did not fully understand the level of fucked up I was, because now I am naked and the fight is on. I am gladiator style fighting this thing, balls swinging. I allow my wife to control me again and we lay in bed. I would lay there trying to calm my shit only to find myself on the floor over and over. My torso is bruised all over from bouncing off the end table. After this point I knew what was there for me, since he was pulling me off the bed and trying to pull me with him through the floor. I remember pulling myself up off the floor trying to escape with the entity pulling heavily on me. Fighting with every bit of my strength, screaming that I won't fucking go and it wasn't strong enough to take me. I'm sure the wife is beyond sick of my shit at this point, but she is an amazing person and just tried to calm me and be my rock over and over. Then, standing naked at the end of the bed bleeding from a self-inflicted cedar trunk wound on my shin, I start talking. This everyone is the end of my world and I'm not letting it happen. I'm gonna argue my way out of it so I can stay and protect my family. My argument? Undecipherable to a human, including my wife, but I cried and yelled a lot. The entity, by the way, is still a huge piece of shit. Then, realizing I wasn't dying but the universe that revolved around me was crashing like a computer program, I accepted my fate and laid holding my loving wife. I laid there, her consoling me, lying to me that it was just the edible. I waited for the end of all existence. I felt my racing heart rate calm and stop. I felt her heart stop with mine. I flowed through the cosmos as different feelings in a pitch black out-of-body experience. This time right here with my wife holding me almost made it worth it. Not really, but I did enjoy it. Then I woke up yesterday extremely sore, still kinda high and went work. I came to grips it was just the edible and for the first time in about 2 years did not smoke last night. What did I learn? Well, if you're gonna do something stupid do it with someone who you love and loves you back because I'm a dumbass. Too long did not read. Took way to high of a edible dose. Fought what amounts to the Grim Reaper naked, and floated through the cosmos. Maybe you should lay off for a while. That kind of experimenting isn't a good idea with kids in the house. Getting high while the kids were awake? Get it together, dude. They shouldn't have even been home for that. Sir, you had a panic attack, very common result of marijuana use. Weed plus edibles plus fucking kids? Irresponsible. They must have been scared shitless hearing all the noise. I hope this isn't real and just a stupid writing exercise. Which it sounds like. Good lord, I've been out of it for hours with 20 Maleg and had a similar experience with my wife. Can't even imagine 100. Today I fucked up by freezing while speaking to a Georgian girl. This happened to me on a family trip 5 days ago in Pamukkale, Turkey. I, 30 male, was sitting with my dad at a table at Cleopatra Pool and waiting for the rest of my family to get out of the pool. I wasn't going into the pool since it was hot as hell and the water even hotter. Then the most gorgeous girl I have ever seen anywhere sat down next to me. She caught my eye when I saw her taking photos of artifacts at an archaeology museum minutes earlier. She was probably around 25 wearing a tight black dress, having dark curly hair, the most perfectly done red lips ever. Seriously, I normally consider red lips a kitschy cliché, but this was next level, a true natural beauty with perfect proportions, black eyes, perfect skin. Words cannot describe how hot she was. Just wow. Since my brain was going haywire I had to leave the table and go for a walk. After a couple of minutes, my dad came to me and said that she was really nice, that she offered him her lunch and spoke to him, but because the name of the country Georgia, where she was supposedly from, has a different name in our language and because my dad is as bright as Borat, he wanted I go speak to her and somewhat translate what is being said. So I sat back down at the table and just turning my head to her felt like a lifetime. I ask her, "So you're from Georgia, right?" She just answers, "Yes," and I go, "Nice, nicey." Her facial expression mirrored my own with a lag. It was a perfect mixture of forced smile and nervousness, with a pinch of sheer terror on top. I hoped she would still engage in the conversation, but no. I try again after a minute. "The Russians are occupying your country, aren't they?" She again says, "Yes," while I am muttering, "Interesting, interesting. Why did I say that? It is not interesting at all, it is sad and despicable." Awkward silence. She gets up and leaves minutes later saying quiet bye without touching her food a fake. So many questions left unanswered. Who is she? What does she do? Does she work or study? Does she travel often? Even yesterday when I was arranging my new work contract at a meeting with my employer I couldn't stop thinking of her. I have never felt so shattered in my life before, since I know I will never see her ever again. Insert call me by your name crying end scene gif. Too long did not read. My brain went blank and I lost control of my facial expressions while trying to speak to a perfect Georgian girl on vacation. Now I'm absolutely shattered. Nothing sexier than breaking the ice with deep political talk. Tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy, Jesus fucking Christ. Next time work your way up. First talk to girls from Georgia, the state in the United States. When you are comfortable, then move up to the next level of Georgia, the country. Tears of joy, you let minutes go by after saying that? You're 30 and this is how you talk to women? Jesus dude. Today I fucked up because I waked and baked. Basically what the title says. My husband and I are moving on Saturday and I've been packing all my crap in boxes but I'm close to the end so I thought I'd treat myself to a wake and bake. And indeed I got, and still am, smashingly high running dash. Then my mortgage broker dude calls me 3 times in a row so I'm forced to answer. He said he needs some urgent paperwork. But he needs some of my husband's information, passwords that I don't have access to. He was very worked up about it and was trying to get information out of me but I was so spaced out I could only make out every third word. Cold sweat smile finally I managed to say, "Okay Coolio. I'll have my husband call you after he gets off work." I hung up and my heart was pounding in my chest. He said if I don't get that info then we won't be able to close on the house on Friday like I'd planned and the house deal wouldn't go through. I'm not used to having to do shit like that and I didn't like it. So now I'm back to scrolling on my Reddit account before I gotta get some more boxes packed and clean the house. Adulting is hard AF. So now I just hope no one else calls me in the meantime lol scissor. Too long did not read. I got high and now I might lose my new home. Edit. Husband got home, said we shouldn't give him the password, account info and went to log in the site himself. It's under maintenance, and won't give him the document we need, so fuck my life melting face. Surely it has to be a fuck up on the mortgage guy's side, right? He mentioned we might need this form last night but then called me this morning and said the deal wasn't going down if I didn't get it to him ASAP. I'm waiting for a callback and see what the situation is looking like grimace. Edit 2. Everything set and I'm driving down this morning to close. Do not share any passwords with your broker. I don't think your mortgage broker called you. I think a scammer called you. Husband's information, passwords. Excuse me? Broker sounds kinda scummy. Tread carefully, they should never ever for any reason have your passwords. The deal will still go through, no one is canceling over a Friday versus a Monday. And it seems like you couldn't have helped even as sober, so what's the difference?